Good evening, everyone, and welcome to a special edition of Awake in the World. We are live this Tuesday evening. It is the first day of March in the year 2022, 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, should such things concern you. One day, why we need to come together as one world, one people. Now. Good evening. How are you? So, little update. I was, as much as I was prepared for what was coming, I have still waiting to get the phone call. It didn't happen today. It better happen tomorrow, There's a lot of humanitarian work, a lot of relief to be done. A lot of, I was asked today by a group member, well, do you intend on going over there and killing anybody? It's like, well, that's not really the point, is it? We can still stand for freedom. We can still provide relief for the suffering and pain of others. There will be men, women, and children with post-traumatic stress. And there are hospitals running out of oxygen and medicine. There's lots that can be done. So, I gotta admit, I'm feeling a little frustrated myself, waiting on the paperwork, when in my mind, human life should supersede everything, especially paperwork. I mean, throw me on the back of a damn military transport, I'll sleep on a bedroll until we get there. As it sits today, things are being pushed literally into next week as we speak. Now, my honest prayers for the the loss of life and the devastation would be that this end right now. And that's not because I'm not willing to go. I am fully willing to go. That's not what's holding me up. Ukraine dropped the visa requirements, which shaved a full 48 hours off of the delays that I was facing. So that is one piece of good news in this. So setting that aside for a minute, I want to, first of all, remind each and every one of you, hopefully literally remind you, that everything is quite okay. Humanity has to go through this or it wouldn't be happening. And, this really offers an opportunity. And if we grasp the opportunity, then we validate at least the need for us having to go through it. And across the globe right now, so many want peace. And I think we can all agree that there are far more people on the planet who want peace than want war. I mean, I got to tell you that as a former soldier, not even a soldier in his right mind or her right mind wants war. War is something we try and avoid at all costs. But I'm of the mind that we as a species and this planet can no longer find war acceptable on any level. And that beautiful song, that one day. When is that one day? That one day is going to be as soon as we choose it. As soon as we choose collectively. Now, I don't know what that's going to take. I really don't. But I believe in my deepest heart that every single one of us can be the example the world needs to see. And that means wherever we are. As I've said, I really hope this conflict draws to a close rapidly, uh, before, there's a need, uh, to go there to offer and render whatever aid can be rendered and offered. Um, as it's being pushed into next week, it really begins to, grind on me. I spent literally all day glued to the phone today because they're going to call me once. I have to pick it up and I have to be here when it rings, and they're going to tell me where to show up and when to show up. And if I miss that, then, who knows, start the whole process over again. And I don't want to do that. So what are we going to get down into tonight? Well, you know, I understand exactly how a lot of people feel. It can be, you can feel like you're literally having your heart torn out watching some of the stuff going on, realizing, and before I go further, sorry, I should let you all know that Kelly's at class tonight, so I'm flying solo and I can't actually see any comments, so I do want to apologize. But do know I love you all and I appreciate seeing every single one of you. So I know exactly how a lot of people are feeling right now, and it's very heartbreaking seeing what's going on in the world, understanding the state of our climate, understanding the precipitous place that we've placed ourselves in. But I think it will serve everyone to understand that we never were not in that precipitous place. For all the thousands upon thousands of years that this planet has hosted and watched as life has gone through its evolutionary process, mirrored both in consciousness and in life itself. We get used to the idea that life here is somehow stable, that life in the universe is stable, where in fact, life is a miracle. Life is the only thing in all of creation that goes against the natural laws of entropy. It's the only thing that defeats that law. We are always on the head of that pin. Last night Kelly was struggling a bit, and she was worried that if I go and something were to happen to me, and I said to her, I said, well, that's reality though. If it's going to be my time, it'll happen whether I'm sitting on a couch here or half a world away. But if it's not my time, the same thing applies. And the same thing really applies to our whole journey here. We have never not been at risk. Our time here is fleeting. Every breath, every moment that we have life is a precious gift. We don't often live life as it is a precious gift, and we've allowed ourselves on some level to lose sight of that precious gift when it's not us, when it's not in our backyard, when it's not our family. It really is time, if we're going to save ourselves, it really is time to see that there is truly only one people. And as I said to a group member who came to visit me a little earlier this evening, we don't even have to try to get people all the way to seeing one consciousness in all of creation. Let's just start with the realization that we are one people on one planet. That if I am not free and you are free, then neither of us are free. If I have enough but you don't have enough, then I have too much. We can live together harmoniously if we're willing to accept that no matter what we choose to think, no matter the false lines on a map that have been drawn that say that we're somehow different from someone else, that there is no one less valuable, certainly on this planet, but in all creation, that everyone is valuable. And the prospect that you wake up and go to work one day and before you come home your country's at war is no difference in the prospect that you wake up and go to work one day and before you come home your entire town is flooded and all the homes are destroyed. Everything about our existence here is dangerous. We were literally doomed from the moment we showed up. And that's the deal with this amusement ride. You didn't come to this amusement park we would call the physical realm to have a ride that wasn't going to be fraught with danger, fraught with excitement, drama. You came to have an experience that would suck you in so fully that you would completely identify with the experience and forget that it was a play, that you were at an amusement park. And when you go to an amusement park, very few people like to stay on the kiddie rides. We like the excitement of the roller coaster. We like the twists and turns, the not knowingness. I know deep in my heart that ultimately there is no loss happening here. As that post from Carl Sagan that I had posted today, when we step back and have that big view, we see one beautiful jewel, one planet, one people. There is a balance to maintain where you can still be standing in amongst and amidst the perceived separation, the perceived conflicts, the perceived angst and misunderstandings, and feel and live that fully, but at the same time allow that higher view to overlay that picture and guide your responses, guide who you choose to be in this. There's no way out, and I think on some level, because Kelly and I were talking about this last night, there's no way out for humanity, and I truly believe that those alarm bells are going off deep inside the whole species right now. And we're all looking for a way out. We're all looking for a way that it doesn't have to be this way. And that's kind of like behaving like we always behave, right? Because it doesn't matter whether we're talking about one or talking about all of us. When we're young, we look for the way out of our problems, our way out of our punishments, a way out of the consequences of our actions. And right now, as a species, we're looking for a way out of having to change, a way out of no longer accepting the suffering of millions upon millions upon millions so we can live the lifestyles that we want to live. I know that there's a lot of idea that there's a way to mitigate what's going to happen. And there is. That's certainly true. But we have yet to unite. We have yet to come together. And the overarching reason why this is so important right now is this is that precipice. This is the road that we are on right now today. And you knew it was coming. If you didn't even believe anything I've said over the last 3 or 4 years and watched these things happen, deep inside you've always known. And the reason that is because you chose this. And I know I keep coming back to that, and I know maybe it's a little frustrating to hear it again, but it's not about understanding why you chose it. It's just about understanding that you did. And you don't have to think about what you need to do. You just have to allow, as always, your heart to guide you. Because that's what all these things happening in the world do to us, okay? They break down the ego. They bust down the false constructs that ego has built, the false idea of never-ending growth in capitalism, the false idea of billionaires suffering where other people are not suffering or are suffering. We are the ones who chose to be here. We are the ones who said before we came, I have something to give. I want to see this. I want to be part of it. I want to live on the edge of what it means to be human. So what does it mean to be human? The answer is going to frustrate you all. It's up to you what it means to be human. And that divine creation isn't looking for us all to agree. It's looking for a unity. No matter what we think it means to be human. We live upon an amazing, beautiful jewel that we are tarnishing, digging into, causing cracks and fissures. The life on this planet, the intelligence, quasi-intelligence that humanity possesses, is another one of those miracles that took billions of years to manifest. No matter what we see going on, no matter how much it's going to fall apart, each and every one of us are still offered that same choice. To choose for ourselves who we're going to be in the face of whatever it is that we are to experience together. You are loved. You are safe. I want you to know that if I do get the opportunity to go, and I'm working very hard towards it until the very last minute where it no longer matters, um, that I feel no fear in going there. All I feel is a desire to bring relief, to show and demonstrate by leading by example that free people choosing to freely stand with people whose freedom is threatened can be the most peaceful and most powerful way to bring an end to war and to reunite us all. That is my wish. Call it the foolish wish of an old man. I will not leave here without trying. That's for sure. The last thing I'm going to say is just this. Self-love right now, self-care, taking time to care for yourself, to spread a little bit of love, to have a little bit of a laugh, have a nice warm bath, whatever it may be, just to sit for a moment in silence and gratitude for the peace that you're experiencing right now. These are the things that we must do in order to retain our own place, to keep our own vision clear, to not lose sight of the truth of our experience here. You are so deeply loved. That's it, that's all. I'm going to be sitting by the phone again, unfortunately, all day again tomorrow, and have to be prepared to fly out of here on the moment's notice, not in a plane yet, but simply in the car, and which means I'm going to be driving Kelly to work tomorrow. And we're going to see each other again very soon, one way or the other. Namaste. May you find peace this evening. Watch your breath. Allow yourself to relax into the knowing that there is no panic in heaven right now. Take care.